Hey folks, it's me Roger back to do part 6 of my Guided by Voices Robert Pollard collection. In the background we're listening to this. Robert Pollard is Off to Business, one of my favorite solo albums, 2008 on GBV Incorporated. Yeah, I'm going to show you the vinyl, of course. Prolific doesn't even begin to describe Mr. Pollard. I'm going to try to show all of his solo records, and it might take a while. Bear with me. I already showed these, and I'm showing them again so they're all in one place. Not in My Air Force, 1996 on Matador. His first solo album, great. As is Waved Out, his second solo album, also on Matador from 1998. And in 1999, he started the Fading Captain series with Kid Marine. This is numbered, 500 copies. Great stuff. Also in 1999, now this is technically a collaboration with Doug Gillard. Speak Kindly of Your Volunteer Fire Department, number 4 in the Fading Captain series. And I'm showing it here because it's just so fucking great. Really. Gillard does all the arrangements and plays all the instruments. Pollard writes the songs and sings, and they're just, it's great. It's just beginning to end awesomeness. Yeah. And then 2003, we get another solo mini LP, Motel of Fools. It's also on Fading Captain. There's some experimental noisy stuff that doesn't work so well for me, but the very last song, Harrison Adams, is a classic. You can find that track on the Crickets compilation I showed. Then in 2004, there's Fiction Man, also on the Fading Captain series. This was limited to 500 copies. It's pretty hard to find now. This is, I think, the first full-blown collaboration with Todd Tobias, who would go on to become Pollard's amanuensis. Pollard does demos on his boombox, whatever, sends them to Todd Tobias. Todd Tobias creates an arrangement, records all the instruments, creates this backing track. Pollard then sings over. It's pretty much how it would work from here on out. This is pretty good. I missed out on the 7-inch. Came out in February 2005. I blew it. It's only 1,000 copies, so this is the CD. It's another quirky EP. Title track is this weird bouncy music hall kind of thing. It's kind of cool. Then another weird EP from September 2005, Music for Bubble. This is for a soundtrack to a Steven Soderbergh movie by the same title. 6 songs. So by this point, Guided by Voices is broken up for good. Pollard is split with Matador again, and he signs with Merge Records. Another kind of attempt to step it up. And so in January 2006, he releases this from a Compound Eye. Double LP and a gatefold. This is awesome. Great production by Todd Tobias, great songs, great vocal performance. It's almost like he was holding back some songs to make a killer double album, and this is it. It was preceded by a single on this weird label, Must Destroy Music. The A side is On a Strong Line. It's backed with Breadcrumbs from the Whales. B side. It's pretty cool. Then in October 2006, it's another solo album on Merge, Normal Happiness. This is just a single disc. Produced by Todd Tobias. This is really good too. There's some really nice nice rockers on here, some nice ballads. Yeah, I really like this album a lot. Pollard was on another roll. And if you pre-ordered it or got the first edition, it came with this CD, Robert Pollard Live. And it's recorded at the US Bank Arena in Cincinnati on June 24th, 2006. And he's opening for Pearl Jam. And he's got this killer band, the Ascending Masters, with Tommy Keene on guitar, John Worcester on drums, Jason Narducci on bass, and Dave Phillips on guitar. And this was probably recorded by, Pearl Jam's folks. But it has this great ambiance, and it's just so cool to hear Pollard's arena rock in a real arena. Really cool. By this time, Fading Captain had ended, and so he started a bunch of labels, some of which still exist, some don't. One, Promise Coming, is the label. This is the record, Silverfish Trivia. This is an EP. This is great too. Tobias does these string arrangements that open and close the EP, and there's just some of Pollard's most, adult, mature songwriting on here. The song Circle Saw Boys Club, beautiful, as is Wickerman's Smile. This is a great EP. The only release on Promise Coming, I'm not sure what that's about. Made another couple records for Merge. Two that came out on the same day, or they were supposed to. One of the LPs was delayed. First one, Coast to Coast Carpet of Love. And Standard Gargoyle Decisions. A lot to take in. Ostensibly, this is like the softer record, and then this is the harder record, and that's pretty much the case. Sorry. Now, some people say that Pollard needs an editor and he shouldn't put out so many records and all that. I don't necessarily agree with that. I just sometimes wish he would take a little more time with the vocals. There's some great songs on here, but his voice sounds strained and the intonation's not good, and he sounds kind of shouty, and this could have been a lot better, in my opinion. This one is pretty cool because it is a little heavier, a little more rockin'. Great production by Todd Tobias. All through that year of 2007, he started a single of the month club. So every month you get a 7-inch single in the mail. Of course, I signed up. And then there was supposed to be a box for them all, and that didn't happen actually until this past year on Record Store Day. And he packaged them up in a box called Cock Blocking the Romantics, Happy Jack Record Singles Collection. So yeah, it's 12 A-sides from Coast to Coast Carpet of Love and Standard Gargoyle Decisions, with a bunch of B-sides as well. The box was also sold separately, so I could put my copies back in there. Yeah, and these are on Happy Jack Rock Records, which has done some singles and the Circus Devils stuff. I don't know, I thought these things were going to sell out. You can still get them on the website. The box is still available. Yeah, it was great fun getting these in the mail. Excuse me. So then there's another solo LP, mini LP. This came out in January 2008. Superman Was a Rocker. This came out on Happy Jack Rock Records. And, you look at that lineup and you go, oh, this could be interesting. And indeed, some of these recordings date back to, I think, 1980 or something like that. Yeah, 1980 to 2007. And I guess the same thing is he found some instrumental backing tracks in the suitcase of tapes and then added new vocals to them. And this was a big disappointment to me after his big push with Merge, which of course didn't go anywhere. Yeah, this is kind of weak. But later on in 2008, he formed Guided by Voices Inc. and released the first album on GBV Inc. Robert Pollard is off to business, and this is excellent. Great production by Todd Tobias, great vocals, great songs. Yeah, dig this a lot. There's also a 12-inch of Weatherman and Skin Goddess with 2 B-sides, including a great song called Kiss the Quiet Man. It really should have gone on the album, but yeah, great. And it just keeps going. So 2009, you get The Crawling Distance. This is another one where, I wish Pollard had spent a little more time on the vocals. Has one of his most beautiful songs ever, It's Easy. But the out-of-tune singing is a letdown. Yeah. There's a single, The Butler Stands In for All of Us. Yeah, with 4 B-sides. Yeah. Later in 2009, Elephant Jokes. It's kind of funny there. It says, another fine Todd Tobias production, the zenith of sound recording, another big batch of Robert Pollard songs, a new nadir in patience and delicacy. Now, it just goes to show, I didn't like this record much when it came out. I listened to it a couple of times, filed it away. And I was gonna, write it off in my little video here, but I listened to it again recently, and this is pretty great. It's not just him and Todd Tobias. Tim Tobias is on it, some other folks. A little more of a real band thing happening here. There's a little more lightheartedness to it. I don't know. You never know. Yeah, 2010, Moses on a Snail. Terrible cover. God, what the hell. This is excellent. This is one of my favorites as well. Has there's a heaviness about it, and there's more of a personal angle to the songs, maybe. I don't know. The last track, Moses on a Snail, has this big rave-up guitar thing in the middle, which is kind of unusual for Pollard. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, later in 2010, We All Got Out of the Army. Another bunch of songs. It's okay. Probably the best song on the album is the single Silk Roader. Great cover. And there's 2 B-sides on this. 2011, Space City Kicks. Another awful cover. I mean, really? But I quite like this. It's kind of a mixed bag. There's some heavy, proggy stuff, and then there's also some of his most sexy stuff I've ever heard him do. It's on this flesh-colored vinyl, which is kind of neat. Yeah, songs like Sex, She Said, Touch Me in the Right Place at the Right Time. Yeah, this is randy, middle-aged Robert Pollard. It's cool. Where are we here? Later in 2011, another one, Lord of the Birdcage. This is in a cool gatefold. Honestly, I have no memory of this. I meant to listen to it, but... 2012, Mouseman Cloud. grizzled picture of Pollard there on the cover. This is kind of interesting. A lot of this wouldn't sound out of place on a Circus Devils record. It's pretty abrasive and experimental. Yeah, it's interesting. Later on in 2012, Jack Sells the Cow. This is a little more on the pop side. There's some cool tracks on here. Yeah. And then last year, we get another 2 albums. Honey Locust Honky Tonk. And despite that horrible cover, this is not a country record. It's just, you know, another blast of sophisticated power pop. Like Pollard and Tobias do it. And then the last solo album, Blazing Gentleman. Oh, that's a cool cover. Now this has only been out a few months. This is cool. A little more muscular production. You know, I think Todd Tobias is a genius himself. I mean, the arrangements, playing all the instruments, all these interesting little musical touches. No, it doesn't have the quirky depth of Rick Ocasek, and they don't have the polished sheen of Rob Schnapf, but gets the job done. It's kind of workmanlike, but yeah, Todd Tobias. Don't know what Pollard would do without him. This is preceded by 2 singles. Tonight's the Rodeo. Great cover. It's on pink vinyl, you can see there. And then another single, Return of the Drums. I have no idea if that's a dig at Kevin Fennell or not. And it's a double A side, My Museum Needs an Elevator. I'm a fan. It's hard for me to be objective. I mean, I like some of it a lot on a first listen. Some of it takes me a while to get used to. Some of it's years later when I'm like, oh, yeah. That's the thing about Pollard songs, you know, even the most fragmented thing, you'll wake up one morning with this melody in your ear and be like, oh shit, it's that weird Pollard track on that weird compilation. How the hell did it get in my head like that? It's been fun. Next time we're going to do the side projects, Circus Devils, takeovers, Boston Spaceships. More to come, folks. Thanks for watching. See you soon.